The late night baby back rib feast. I like baby backs because they tend to be more tender and leaner. And shake it on and rub it up. And rub it liberally. You get flavor from two directions, the smoke and the rub. Here's my rub recipe. I keep it in a huge mason jar in the pantry for when the urge to smoke strikes. Baby back ribs are a cut of rib from the top of the rib, close to the spine. Some contend that spare ribs are more flavorful. That may very well be the case, but I think the tenderness of baby backs are their biggest selling point. Plus, you're putting so much rub and love and smoke on these babies, they'll have plenty of flavor. I got them from the Walmarts. You can use any type of smoker you want to. In this case, I'm using a little electric smoker. It holds the heat well and it's pretty consistent. Does a pretty good job. I actually pet it from time to time. Other woods that are popular are use apple for chicken, use mesquite for brisket, but in this case you want to use hickory. This is a smoker's paradise. If you're an impatient dickhead, then smoking just is not for you. I love it. I will spend all day doing it, and I'm going to do it till the day I die. I started these about 1:30 in the afternoon, and they were done by about 9:30. There have been cases where I put a butt in the smoker at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and let it go until 10 o'clock the next morning. That is very long and very slow. I mean, the reward for doing it that long is that it's extremely tender and probably very juicy, and it has that delicious long smoked bark on it. It's the best thing ever. Those it really crunchy is. Little niblets. I mean, the total cost of doing this side of ribs plus the wood was probably like $16. And I can only eat like half of a slab. I'm not horsing these things down like Mr. T. And always remember, you can have too much of a good thing, i.e. smoke. If you smoke anything for more than 3 hours, the outside bark can become very bitter. This smells absolutely wonderful. My dog just sits over there in the corner, kind of like just downwind from the smoker, just going. Ribs take at least 6 hours, and that's at like 225. In this case, I'm going 200, and I'm going much longer, even 8 to 9 hours. A pretty popular way of doing ribs is the 3-2-1 method. That's where you smoke the rib for 3 hours, let it cook unsmoked for 2 hours, and then wrap it in aluminum foil for the last hour. I use a variation of this method and beyond. I go 3-2-2. 3 hours of smoke, 2 hours without smoke, and 2 hours in aluminum foil. For a total of 8 long hours. Theoretically, you could move the ribs into an oven after 3 hours of smoke if you wanted to, because you're not putting smoke on anything at that point anyway, you're just putting heat on the ribs. The foil part is critical. It traps all the moisture in the ribs so they don't dry out while they continue cooking. It kind of, in essence, steams the ribs in a way. You'll see how these delicious juices collect in the foil when you unwrap the ribs at the end of the cooking process. That's a good thing. In this case, the ribs went for about 8 hours at about 210 degrees. Very long and very slow. Any fast approach to trying to shortcut doing ribs just does not work. I tried doing them in a Weber grill one time and it was a total waste of time. These were fall off the bone done. I mean, you could just put them in your mouth and just pull them out. I mean, in this case, I actually pulled the meat off the bone and ate it with a fork. That's how tender it was. On Mount Sizzle, I've showed you how to make barbecue sauce. The longer I've been smoking, the more I've discovered that I really don't need sauce. A very well-rubbed rib that's put under smoke has plenty of flavor without sauce. As a matter of fact, I get a little angry when people use sauce on the ribs. I think it unnecessarily masks the deliciousness of the ribs. There's no sin to cover up.